it's another patch day. Woohoo! Awesome. I was just about to go to sleep and saw the patch notes. I was like, oh, I'll do an update. So here you go. Here's your patch notes for Ostranauts. 0.14.1.1 is live. I haven't actually read these yet myself, so I'm going to be going through them as well, which is kind of cool. Okay, so to start with, we've got the UI changes. Quick Action Button menu is now a floating context menu near where users clicked. Can be moved and pinned in place. Mega Tooltip now has an item value field to show the player approximate, or price with admin skill, item value. Mega Tooltip now has a hide or show toggle to expand or collapse list of conditions. Added ability to edit a zone after making it, and they can be non-rectangular now. So, squares then? Triangles? PDA frame graphic now hidden when PDA is closed. Adds link to official Steam Ostranauts guide to escape menu. Trade UI expand or collapse keeps scroll position. Trade UI expand or collapse all button. Okay. Added ability to disable screen shake in options menu. Oh, that'd be good. I wonder if that'll be for the actual console as well when you're like manoeuvring your thrusters and all that sort of stuff. I'm hoping that's what it means. That'll be good. PDA coloured light icons now show correctly. Okay. Objectives updated to look, animate and stack more cleanly and hide less of the UI. Objectives can now be dismissed via right click. Alarm or alert objectives once again pulse red. Red alert! Red alert! Thank God it's not a purple alert, they'd have to change the light bulb. Mega Tooltip no longer switches to wrong temperature units after a while. Clicking the console toggle button no longer causes character to walk to that point. Game credits now stop scrolling when the window is closed. Added missing zone categories for metals. Holding left Alt key will briefly show hotkeys mapped to some on-screen buttons. Work in progress as we add more. Attention, it's time for general changes. Autopilot will now correctly assign flow or cycle for damaged reactors to better avoid flameouts. Autopilot will now warn user when cryo is missing or reactor components are unable to handle cycle setting. Autopilot will now cancel the route if the reactor's laser or pellet flow rate has changed significantly, altering route parameters. Autopilot will no longer replot new path and continue flying when reaching autopilot destination. Ships should no longer lose room atmosphere when saving and loading after a change to its overall footprint. Reactant tank prices now include contents. Repairing doors via PDA order no longer factory resets them, causing crimes. Okay. $0 gigs now correctly report the under $1 cost to take them. Okay. I haven't done gigs before, so I don't know what that is. Ships purchased from shipbroker now collide correctly. Battery input arrows removed, and all batteries now charge or discharge through same arrow. If you've seen some of my videos, yeah, I kept messing that one up. So I'm glad they've changed that. That's going to be so much easier. I might have to actually turn my batteries around then when I go back and play the game. Probably along with a few people, I suspect. Anyway, we're all in that club, so don't worry. Don't worry. Carrying on. Reactors will now recharge all connected batteries, and not just those connected to its input node. PDA widget XZ798 stuck tasks fixed. Tracking alarms should turn off more reliably now when remote ships are no longer tracking player. Ships should no longer jitter and suddenly explode while docked or undocking. AIs shouldn't get stuck picking up random junk over and over as often anymore. Thanks for fixing that one. Nav match velocity mode will correctly honour thrust throttle user has set. Characters can now attempt to use arcade machines regardless of their mood, though not always succeed. New paper doll sprites for drill, angle grinder and soldering iron. That'd be cool to see. Some items which previously disappeared when dropped in a container now appear normally. Several causes of null exceptions have been fixed. This patch is representative of our current hardening phase of development, where we attempt to address bugs, instability, performance and quality of life (QOL) for our users. It's an important phase we hope to complete before beginning to work on new features in our next 0.15 milestone. Fire in the hold! Sorry, I just had to do that, sorry. A large part of this update is a rework of the HUD and UI to improve quality of life for users. One of the most notable changes is the consolidation of all top and bottom HUD info to live at the bottom of the screen, in brackets 4, so users don't have to look at opposite sides of the screen to see all the current game state info. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll say like the bracket first and then read it all out, because otherwise you're going to be like, so this one is brackets 3. We also moved the quick action button QAB panel out from the bottom to be closer to where the user clicks, like a regular context menu would work. It will follow the clicked item around the screen by default, but you can also pin it in place or move it around to where you want it. Oh, that'd be cool. The QAB will also now only show filter buttons for action types that are available, instead of all categories all the time. Plus the window should expand or contract a bit better to fit the list inside. Brackets 1. The Mega Tooltip MTT for the selected item now has 2 new features. First, it will display the monetary value of the item as either a rough approximation or a better estimate if the current character has the admin skill. Second, the MTT now has a show more or less toggle to hide all that info if you find it too much clutter. Brackets 5. The objectives also received some love, so they look and animate more consistently. They'll only cover a small portion of the page now, which is scrollable, and you can now right click them to dismiss them instead of using the tiny corner icon. Bracket 6. Finally, the PDA frame graphic disappears now when the PDA is closed, allowing users to see more of the game field. The frame will still appear when the PDA is opened. Another new quality of life feature we added is the ability to edit your zones. Finally, players are able to make non-rectangular zones and to update them to meet their changing ship's shape. Simply click the pencil icon next to the zone you want to edit and start selecting tiles to add them, or hold C while selecting to remove. The options menu has a few new features as well. First, you can now disable screen shake in the video options, and you'll also now notice the escape menu has a link to our official beginner's guide. Corey's been hard at work writing a guide that should help new players walk through their first 30 to 60 minutes of Ostranauts. Cool, nice work, Corey. Also, we are finally able to fix the auto-scrolling in the trade UI. Now, when you expand or collapse containers, the window will remain at the scroll point it was before. The trade UI also now has an expand all or collapse all toggle for convenience. Apart from the UI and HUD, we also made a series of important gameplay fixes and changes. Autopilot should now be able to handle reactors with damaged components and adjust the flow cycle accordingly so the ship won't flame out while underway. That sounds kind of dangerous. As part of this, it will also warn the user about situations where it cannot adequately balance those values, and it will cancel itself if the reactor is damaged or repaired in such a way that the route has become obsolete. Speaking of reactors, they should now recharge any connected battery, and we reworked the batteries to only have one input or output point, since the old separate points were both confusing and broken. Yes, they were very confusing, and I think they broke my brain on several occasions. We also found and fixed 2 more causes of the lost atmosphere in Rooms bug. This was being caused by the ship changing overall footprint due to an added or removed item near the edge. And if the user then attempted to save the game, the room data would be lost. The fix should prevent this loss going forward, though it cannot restore lost data in saves where it already happened. In those cases, the gas is lost forever, but users should be able to refill the rooms and have them work normally from now on. Plus a range of other fixes and improvements. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your patch notes for Ostranauts 0.14.1.1, released on Friday, November 15th. I'm now going to go and get some sleep. Take care of yourselves, and as always, I'll see you on the flip side. When I stop talking like a complete spaz. Take it easy, folks. Bye!